Folkens, vi er tilbake med Bad and Theater, del 2. Jeg kommer ikke på mer å si egentlig, så vi får bare gå rett i det. Nå husker ikke jeg nøyaktig hva jeg gjorde sist. La meg tenke, hva vil jeg? Skal jeg prøve å ta heroen sitt POV hvis liksom alt gikk fint så du gjorde sist gang, eller litt fint ut av bredde opp, men så hvis jeg prøver heroen nå. Ja, vi kan den der historien, bla 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 bla. Be like a coward. Her er vi her. Diplomat. The Overlord and Maiden seems to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord. Nei, jeg ser hva grei. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured and she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to the town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows you to leave and you casually exit the castle. You try to make a conversation with the maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her track and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. The Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle's gate. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the village and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystander hero and be. Okay. Da får vi med en ny ending. Han har allerede fått en bad end som står der. Hva skjer? La meg se, skal vi bli underling? Skal vi bli underling og ete maiden? Se hva som skjer da. Bla 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 bla. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You stop devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Put on a show, why not? You attack the nearest human. He's an old and weak, and his bones crushed delightfully. Bro, what? Your audience screaming, growing louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirst dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in a swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. Curtains close. Performer underling ending. Skal jeg sikkert gjøre noe jakt med denne her. Jeg kan bare skippe. Gobbler up, skip. Og så er det her, change your mind and leave. You figure if people are upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you've committed. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them steps on you pretty hard and asks, okay, så det der har vi sett før. Skal vi ha disloyal denne gangen, se hva som skjer? You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in with it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of Folks confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they wanna go about this. They figure they just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize that your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance, your guidance. They'll probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy death make a revolution a heck a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you played the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. You can't back down now. You have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. She sneaks into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Die. You figured the cleanest way to do this would to dig your claws into her throat, so you just do that. She wakes, but not in the time to stop you. She watches as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased, only now you realize they must have been Only now you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning. You are the new ruler of the castle, your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you had betrayed your overlord. Yep. That was a cute. Det er veldig mange sånne der. Om det bare er en bad maiden-ending. Den bare dør en gang. Hero kan dø på 1, 2, 3 måter. Her kan dø på 3, Overlord kan dø på 2, så det er heroen som kan dø mest. La meg se, hvordan er det vi vil gjøre dette? Skal vi få Maiden sitt POV av... Det er jo ikke for hennes POV, om jeg kan få henne til å overleve. Og skip. Glemte vi det jo, ja. Ja, de er jappene. Let her stay for a while. Ja, vi har gått gjennom dette før, de liker hverandre. Let them go. You hope your new friends will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You almost fallen asleep when the maiden and the hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You thought that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised how nice of the humans to care. One of your underlings barged in next, shouting that the humans are liars. What? They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. What? Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would... You have no doubt your servants wouldn't let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, you have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place. Crush beneath my heel, okay? Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You are unsure if you have the strength to back it up, though lately all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to a plan A, and suddenly you slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you die, burning alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice a maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You fill up with anger and frustration. You don't even notice you grabbing the underling. Those traitors blamed everything on you. They cry for mercy, saying that they cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot, knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Forgive them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You all burn together. Overlord true end. Before you take back and research the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end. Jeg satt og tenkte, jeg skal lese det snart, men jeg satt liksom og tenkte sånn der, det var true end. You say to yourself, what was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. What? This is bad and theater. Is the pain setting in? Ooh, but you should have been well aware of that, of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point you grew attracted to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their cliques. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater. I love being trapped in labyrinth of suffering. Jeg vet ikke om jeg sa love me eller long, jeg greier ikke å lese. Anyway, I hope you're pardon interruption. You're making great progress. The choices to continue on the next ending is always yours. I leave you to it, dear guest. Jeg tror ikke det var true endingen. Hvem var det? Er det han som syrer feateren? Det må være en secret good ending eller noe. Spørsmålet er bare hvordan får jeg den? Jeg må bare prøve meg litt fram egentlig. En diplomat... Ok, jeg vil bli overlord og sikkert det skjer at jeg liksom ikke lar maiden gå. Grant a day off. Jeg kan også bli antisocial, men det kan jeg prøve senere. Keeper. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she'd prefer this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a few steps towards the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. Something sharp pierces your back. The hero? Oh, he's already for underlings. The maiden screams. Your servants tackle you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage, you can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this had happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Oh yeah, jeg fikk inn en betrayed overlord and be. True end. Åh, vent, det var den jeg fikk. Hva er dette her? Hva er den som går opp der? Det er så mye valg og confusing. Ok, langt så denne gangen skal jeg være anti-random day off. Anti-social. You'd love to have all the conversation in the world with your friend, but having a human girl will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you may as well get to bed now. Ja, altså... You don't get to rest for very long. Ja, hun dør. Jeg ser hvis hun er tyrant. Hvis hun er tyrant og lar han bli, hva skjer da hvis jeg blir til maiden? Skip. What? Hæ? Jeg tror han stukker vekk på slottet selv om han ikke har lov. Okay, shout for a hero to come save you. You yell, but the hero doesn't come now. Does not come now. The demon is put up by your sudden shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused and hostile, which totally catches you off guard. You tell the demon your name and explain why you remain of the village. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. You detect the mass. Okay. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here. He was apparently not told to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishments awaits them. But you're surprised she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the overlord turns to you. The overlord turns to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. You don't thought she'd never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. No wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, it doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons one day seek you out and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to rescue you. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk to her more. The overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize that you might not be that they might not be the ruthless monster you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commands her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you're never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her, the human, by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You have always thought demons were just violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but really they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was too decisive, and the other human... What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept yourself. You've always kept yourself, but spending time with this overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think of that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never ever in any danger. The hero expresses his relief and thanks this whole misunderstanding. Misunderstanding hadn't led up to any horrible consequences. Ja, som allerede kan veldig mye av denne historien, bare at dette er fra Maiden sitt perspektiv, så basically det samme som alle andre. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note I left? Jeez. The hero asks you to return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. Near the castle entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right. You think, what kind of a hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demon have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero follows you shortly after. You burst into the overlord's room and all your words spilling out at once. You'll probably slow down, but there's no time. The overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling your ire. You're surprised they were part of this evil plot. They seemed so nice. The demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Hva gjorde jeg nå? Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. You think that you're thinking that you must have jinxed it because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you hadn't ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. You had just pretended not to hear them if you left as you were told. Only the overlord would have been killed. But how could you have done all that? That path isn't an option for you. Jeg tror du prøver å hindre meg til at jeg skal bli til heroen, og så går jeg vekk med hun med heroen. Du snakker veldig mye om at hun ikke kan gjøre valget, men ja. You think that no matter what, you'll always be strive for a path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. Du har samme mentaliteten som jeg gjør. Det må være en path hvor alle overlever. Det må det. The overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. Jeg trykker høyre litt mye. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The overlord claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs in and twists her claws into the porous things while he continues to pray. There's no saving any of you now. The overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by the flames. Devote maiden. Merciful, kanskje du kan være det. Det er som jeg sier, jeg blir tyrant eller ikke. Nå skal jeg bli heroen, så bare skipper gjennom alt. Det blir like coward. Jeg skal bli rett igjen. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should have been destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you, and the maiden takes off into the castle and you have no choice but to follow her. What? Jeg trodde maiden var usikker, okay, så hun tydeligvis gikk inn først, okay. When you enter the Overlord's room, the maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. Dette er jo bare det samme, jeg vet ikke om jeg gidder. The demons only care about themselves, how low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. If you threaten them with violence, this Overlord is no better than your subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the run to the little barn. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underlings pounce on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? And she continues to cry and make more excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. You're surprised she let it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You all burn together. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to the despair, or what? True end. Så en true end er det samme for alle sammen. Hva hvis han er ikke disloyal, og så blir jeg til Lasse hero igjen? What? Det må jeg si igjen, jeg skipper litt for mye. Try to make it. Denne her har vi allerede sett, ja. Ok, så hvis vi blir til maiden og gjør det der. You think about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your conscience, you look back over your shoulder. You stop your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure that everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound You pound your fist against the door, helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull off this kind of thing. You're starting to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save your life. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. Amazing saving the Overlord. If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. True to you. This is exactly the kind of punishments you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Oi. Self-love maiden be. Skal vi prøve 100% av en her? Dette er confusing. Eller ikke, hva hvis jeg er antisocial? Det er ikke så mye å si meg i Tyrant, ser det ut som. Antisocial, polite... Antisocial. Double attends you again. You should get lost. How rude. You just got there. Oi, vel, det er en option. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons. Dette er bare samme skiten! Ja, det er bare samme skiten. Dette leder til true ending. Ja. Det er bare noen true ending. Maiden true ending. What? Fikk jeg den? Hæ? Wait, what? Hva var egen option? You want to answer the maiden's prayer. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the path you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within the story, maybe it's time to take things in your own hands. Jeg liker ikke at musikken forandrer seg, alle er smelta. You are. What? You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible powers to warp everyone to safety. What? You didn't know that you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but you're pitch black. You feel that this body doesn't actually represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, Endingen, and Overlord have been staring at you. Have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys! You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god. No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these roles play out. How these role-playing games go. Om den der karen som snakket til meg etter denne storyen er ferdig, er liksom guden av denne her verdenen. Now I realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit you've been encouraged that you... I admit I've been encouraging you all along. But the self-insert story, how pace? You watch helplessly as tragedy descend from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force yourself into the stage, didn't you? Did you? Yep, jeg hadde rett. I'm the narrator, the storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy if you like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send... The darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me. Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you're stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. Sick of these bad endings. Then frankly, you should never have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could have been entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight the god. Vent litt, om jeg kan styre nå. The stage is set for your final battle against me. The god is of this world. Sorry, god eller god det her? What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Attack! You try your best to tear me down, but you can't. Ja, det er rart når det narrater om sitt selv. But you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Jeg skal prøve helt til noe skjer. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Oi! Behold my beautiful tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make you heartache? You witness 15 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all of this? You truly care for them that much. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here, to the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Kan jeg ikke ta med demon? You enter the Overlord's room. Overlord, mener jeg. You're relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the wall. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castles and serve me. You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His question for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. Men om hun drepte faren. Og you can't ever think it's a little late in the game to getting some new backstory. Facts. I have no interest in waging war with the humans. I merely wish to be left alone to live a peaceful, indulging life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer her a chance for her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. Ah, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. I hope you prefer to face your death as well. Tragedy attacked with a terrible fate. What? Your HP. The Overlord tries to fight tragedy with her sheer brutality. Oh, has violence really been working for you so far? I'll show you my own brutality. Ah! Oh crap. Maiden! You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church. Her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I could meet one today. You think about the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of this story after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask, what is... Vannpause. You ask what was it that she really hoped to gain from this? The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach a place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? What? I remember now. I remember all of the awful things you've put us through. that this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks us with a terrible fate. Fuck. Fuck. Jeg litt sånn low nå. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle, and the underling is on guarding duty as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? We explain that you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding on their story right now. We tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. Snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be kind of best if you didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think that the underling's friend who has bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling certainly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun. Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Så jeg har 2 HP igjen. Han der gjør 4 damage per hit. Jeg er kukt! What the fuck? You didn't say anything about the boss battle. The underling, you must be desperate to call out to such a unreliable ally. Huh. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attack with terrible fate. I get cooked, guys! Your HP has run out. You're overcome by tragedy. No! Hva skjer nå? If you wish to challenge me again, collect more bad endings. You'll be able to reach the path again through the maiden's true ending. Ah! I'll be waiting. Your bad end. Jeg måtte skippe. Jeg måtte snakke med noen, så jeg datt litt sånn av. Men, ja, så vi må få flere bad endings, virker det sånn. Vil du vite at jeg er en bra segway til? Dette får dere se i neste episode av Bad and Theater. Ja, nei, men det var ganske interessant liksom at jeg kan forandre storyen med min karakter. Da var det sånn litt hva jeg forventet. Jeg tror litt av feilen min var at jeg måtte summone alle sånne folk opp først, men liksom jeg tok første turen til å angripe, og så tok jeg damage. Kanskje hvis jeg får flere bad endings, at jeg får mer liv da, eller noe sånt. Ja. Så jeg hadde 15 liv, ikke sant? Se hva som er her. 15. Så jeg får mer liv i løpet av hver ending som jeg har fått hvis andre gjør 4 damage. Så jeg blir minst 17 liv for neste fight. Ja, da vet vi planen for neste episode. Får 17 liv og prøver fighten igjen. Håper dere likte videoen. Denne her, hvis jeg ikke har delt den opp, så er denne her drita lange. Aslak, hvis du har lyst til å se en par 3, kommenter. Ja, snakkes neste gang. Bye bye.